because the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Alrighty guys, Protovoid here. Today's going to be a bit different in terms of what I usually post on a Tooltip Tuesday. I usually post a tool and give you tips on how to use it. And I had recorded a video about social media investigations and OSINT, kind of the pros and cons on that. However, it didn't really make sense to go over how I made the video. It was in reference to a post a little bit ago. Um, so what I have actually decided to do is kind of start from ground zero um, and walk through how to do things like this um, on the social media side. So my first suggestion is download some type of um, virtual machine system. I know it's kind of odd, and you're going to hear mouse clicks and typing. I'll try and cut out the typing, but you'll most likely hear the mouse clicks just because I hate using my trackpad when I'm recording videos. But if you use VirtualBox, um, these are all the machines that I have. Um, None of these are actually my computer. They're a whole virtual machine that is not affected. It's essentially a computer within a computer. It's computerception. Um, but these are the ones that I have. I have some Kali ones. Um, the one that I have right now is the Trace Labs box, which I'll show you in just a second. Um, and just random ones. This is solely for a book that I was doing. Um, I think the book was actually called Linux Objectives, and so only use that book to go through, or only use that virtual machine to go through. I didn't give it much resources or anything like that. It was solely just to work on that book. Um, this OSINT box is actually outdated. I have to restart it. That's one of the good things about virtual machines is if you accidentally kill a box, like I did with this one, um, I didn't take any snapshots, but in the process of doing updates or however you want to do things, you can take a snapshot before you update it. I just never did. So that'll go away. So this is the TraceLabs OSINT virtual machine. If you go to tracelabs.com, which I'll show you in just a second, kind of gives you a walkthrough on how to download it and everything like that. So here's TraceLabs. This is what the virtual machine looks like. Now I've already used this virtual machine for some things um, through the couple different courses that I've done. But if you want to do a fresh download, it will run a little slow because I have the recording software and this, and a couple other things up that I could probably close. So that should speed it up a tiny bit. And then, I'm sorry, it was tracelabs.org, not .com. So, it's an amazing organization. You can read all about them. But I believe if you scroll down, yeah, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom and you go to the TL OSINT VM, you can download it. There's some videos, there's an installation video, here's all the downloads, the requirements, everything that it comes with, all that fun stuff. So once you have that downloaded and you are logged in and set up, you can go to, oops, not there, go to my Instagram page. Go ahead and click on the link tree. From there, go to the OSINT tools. And I gotta just get rid of that update portion. You can bookmark this page. I updated it on the 5th of November, so just a couple days ago. These are a bunch of free resources and paid resources um, that I use and um, have kind of created here uh, for anyone to use. Um, I try and go through and make sure they still work, but the crappy thing about OSINT is a lot of times it changes overnight. So once you have this bookmarked, I'm just going to bookmark it for ease right now. I'm going to throw on my bookmarks toolbar. Where do you start for your investigation? Well, one, you have to have something to start on. Are you trying to find um, someone who is messing with your family? Are you trying to find someone who is, you know, a client? Are you trying to find somebody who you work for? Again, all on a legal investigative process. Um, where do you really start, especially when it comes to social media? Well, you have to start with a sock puppet. Sock puppet. Um, and to do that, it's actually quite simple. You're going to need to make a sock puppet. It's fake social media accounts and a fake person. These resources are all right here. So we're going to start, and if I can find it on here, I have my actual one set up a bit differently from this. So you're going to want to go to the generated photos, open a new window, and then, all right, so I pulled a fast one on you. Scratch everything that I just did. I just did a quick pause in the video. Just to make it easier, once you load this up, you go down, boom, you got a thing just for sock puppets. So these are the 4 things that you will use. First is going to be the fake name generator, and then you can use generated photos or this person does not exist. And I'll show you why these 2 are cool. And then eventually you'll end up using Gorilla Mail. There's plenty of websites like Gorilla Mail. This is just the one that I always end up remembering. If there's a better one out there, please let me know and I'll update this. So first thing that you're going to need to do, well, who are you? I don't know. Let's find out. So you can do a few different things. Um, in most investigations, females get more attention than males, and it's easier for females to get information from a male, especially using social engineering techniques. Your use case is going to be totally different on whatever you need. Now, for me, let me just give a good example here. I can do an American name set, or with the little um, uh, information that I have, I could do a Klingon name set. Those are really the only 2 that I could do. If I were to do a Hispanic name set, and then, throw Mexico in here, or even one of the southwest border states, and try and choose a Hispanic name and go through that route, if I'm not able to communicate or know, some basic things, then that can really ruin um, just that sock puppet in general. You can get called out on things, and it's just not um, helpful to the investigation if, or to whatever you're doing, if you can't play that part. So um, I'm going to do mail, and I'm just going to click on generate or advanced options. You do the different name sets. I just kind of switch things up. If you click on that Advanced Options tab or button. You can choose the name set, the country or region that you want the person to be from. So if you really want to you want this person to be from Idaho, you can do that. Gender, the 50-50 is going to be the amount of people that they give you. Is it going to be more male or more female options? And then age. So I'm going to do, where'd it go? I'm going to do 21 to 35. And then all male. American, and let's do Massachusetts. And you're going to generate. So, Philip, now if you want to get super picky, you can click generate again if you don't like the name, if you don't like some of this information. Like I don't like this name, and I don't like a lot of this information in here for whatever reason. So, generate. Ronald C. Nash. All right. That's another thing. You want to make sure none of this stuff actually applies to you. So if your birthday is June 18th of 1995, or your phone number is similar to this, or your social security is similar to this, or even if your mother's maiden name is similar to that, try not to pick it. While it may be easy to remember, you could end up giving away some information about yourself. So, I'm a science technician, like that. I'm not super happy about the weight. You know, maybe I'm gonna say that's all muscle. Mr. Ronald is a little bit taller than me, so I do appreciate that. But notice what it gives us. It gives us a name, a partial social, a mother's maiden name, a phone number, which, if you look into it, you can get that phone number, the birthday, the age, the zodiac, um, an email, a username, a password, a website. I don't go to the websites because it kind of scares me. Sometimes it could just be no website. Sometimes you don't know what you run into. The browser agent gives us a visa. Most of these are just fake, but if for some reason you find a new one, there's a link down at the very bottom of the page to let them know, like, hey, that's a real Visa card. Gives us a job. Again, height, weight, blood type. For some reason, a UPS tracking number and a MoneyGram and a Western Union information. And then some other information here. So it can generate a QR code, and then gives you a vehicle and a favorite color. So it gives you a good amount of information for creating a person. This is all great. So for the investigation, I am now Ronald C. Nash. I live in Springfield, MA. There's a zip code, phone number, all that good stuff. You can even activate it. So again, fake mail generator. I'm going to click here. And boom. This is another one aside from Gorilla Mail. But all of it will show up here. And it does delete. So just understand that don't actually use this for getting emails. So now, well, what does Ronald Nash look like? He is 26, so we can use these next two websites. Generated photos, and this person does not exist. Both of these have photos that are computer and AI generated, meaning these people physically do not exist. You're not going to put somebody in danger. Now, there might be some likeliness from people. You might see somebody and go, oh my gosh. Like just the face shape and of the person I'm circling here, this face reminds me of one of my friends. Could be a brother, not necessarily look like them, but it definitely does look like they could be related. So you can browse photos on generated photos, and this will give you more of a legitimate profile, like something you would see in a yearbook or a business ID, something like that. You can change the background color, and there's this many photos here that you get to choose from, but then you can drop it down. So you can do emotion, do by ethnicity, age. Where did ages go? There we go. Age. So, adult to young adult. Let's do young adult, see what happens. And there we go. Can only do males. And Ronald is white. And we'll apply and see what happens. He looks angry. But man, Ronald. And you can change the background too. Does this person seem real? Yeah, seems real. Didn't realize you have to do that. And then boom. Now you have similar ones. So if you need Ronald and his brother, you can choose it. But here's Mr. Ronald. Again, changing the background, doing all that fun stuff. This is actually a pretty solid picture. With females, you will see issues with the ears. So here's a good one. These ears are both different, which kind of fits me. I have one ear that's different than the other. But if somebody is really paying attention and really looking and really trying to see if this is a real account, if one ear has an earring and the other doesn't, and one ear is, black and the other is white, things like that can happen with these images. So that's just something to be on the lookout for. Now again, these are only going to be profile images and semi-profile images. Again, think of it as a business picture. If you go to this person does not exist, you have to refresh the page to get a new image, and you don't get to choose anything. There is a good example of a whacked out image. So here you go, you have two completely different ears, but this could be from something other than a business. Again, here you go, out and about, but you have whatever this monstrosity is. This actually is a decent photo. You don't see any craziness. Here's some craziness here. Different colored eyes. That could be legit, could be different. I'm not sure. Again, different ears. This one's a bit tougher because it's just luck of the draw on who you're going to get. So here's Ronald. Here's a decent, what I would use as a profile picture for social media, because it seems more legitimate. It seems like, hey, I'm at, my friend's house watching a movie, and for some reason they just decided to take this awesome picture of me. Or, oh my gosh, my hair looks amazing. This is a terrible haircut. If you have this haircut, please go to a barber. And if you're losing your hair, just shave it. Promise you will look like Vin Diesel or The Rock. But this is something I would end up using for, again, a social media profile. So now that you have that, here is the crappy part. When it comes to social media investigations, and this is where I kind of hit on that second video, or that original video that I made about the pros and cons of social media OSINT. It is way more difficult now than it has ever been to do OSINT with social media. It is actually, in the terms of service with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I believe Snapchat, that creating a fake account or a false account is actually violating their terms of service. So if you're making it to deceive people, or to make an account that does not represent you or your brand or a brand that you represent, it is violating the terms of service and can be taken down. That is good. It stops bots and it stops spammers and scammers most of the time, kind of in the beginning. now you have to do a little bit more, um, which, to be honest, everything that I'm giving you, I'm trying to give it to you in 20 to 25 minutes right now, um, just because that saves me time on having to um, edit. But this was a 2-day course that I took on OSINT. I think it was a total of like 16 hours, and there's partial day on the last day actually. So about 20 hours of class time going over OSINT investigations. Um, but to move forward on doing OSINT investigations and making a true sock puppet account, you're gonna have to have a burner phone and not an app, because Google, Facebook, all of them have most of the um, applications numbers in their database. And if you try and use burner phone, there's a bunch of other fake number generating applications out there. Um, it gets shut down, or the account gets shut down, or just in general it says this number cannot be used. Um, so you actually have to get a burner phone. Now, you can get a flip phone, because all you need to do is receive calls and texts. So you can get a cheap $10 flip phone off of Amazon or on Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, eBay, whatever it may be, and then get a free SIM card from Mint Mobile because they offer free ones. Um, they're just temp cards essentially, uh, and you can get it from them. Now, if you get it from them on Amazon or by any other means that is attached to you, that is not a true burner phone, and that phone can be linked back to you. Please see the episode on burner phones that I did. Link that up somewhere. Um, but in general, uh, this is the base for starting an investigation. You have to have an identity to do any sort of OSINT. Um, and I say that because you don't want anything linked to you. If you use your phone to get on these accounts, Facebook will actually, even if you say, hey, don't link these accounts, I don't want anybody knowing I have this account, I don't want this even linked to me, that'll start showing you and your friends and the people you may know. Same thing with Twitter, the same thing with Instagram. Um, all of these accounts and devices talk. So how do you fix that? You don't use your account. You don't use anything that um, would be linked to you or your actual accounts. One thing you can do is once you generate all this information, you'll end up needing a Gmail account. There's no way to get around having a Gmail account. So make a Gmail account. Um, only use that for signing up for things. That's it. However, don't use your actual computer. Download a virtual machine. You can download a Microsoft Edge and virtual machine. And I say Microsoft Edge, it's if I can spell. Don't remember where I went to get it, but there we go. Developer.microsoft.com, and you can download a free uh, virtual machine. It's an evaluation version. Um, you don't have a bunch of things that you can do um, in terms of upgrades and things like that. Um, and it does expire. It's supposed to. Um, Mine hasn't, and I've had it for I don't know how long now. But all you have to do is come back and re-download it. So from there, if you don't, that's Etcher. I don't want that loading. What you can't see is I'm doing something on a different screen here. Da, 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 da. So let's say you download the Microsoft Virtual Machine and you're like, hey, I got a flip phone, but I need to do some stuff on a Android phone or whatever it may be. Once this loads, I can show you. It's an application called BlueStacks. Now, there's many out there. It's essentially an Android emulator. And mine just decided to die on me somewhere. But it gives you the opportunity to have a phone, essentially, on your computer. And you can download almost every app that's on the App Store and run it. Now, for all of this, you're going to have a decently beefy computer, which, if you have a gaming laptop, you'll be fine. But that's what's going to be needed for making these investigations kind of start is is making that sock puppet account, and going through these few steps is really the basics of how you have to do it. Like most of my posts and videos and rants, this kind of went on a weird tangent and wasn't super organized. But this is just the easiest way to explain for me, kind of on the fly, how to get this going. This was a very last minute video that I decided to make, but I think it'll play well into the next couple videos that I will make. So please leave some comments. Let me know what you think. I don't know if I can upload this onto Instagram, but I know I will be posting it on YouTube, couldn't think of the name, and the library account. So please let me know what you think. There will be links to all of this stuff on my link tree. Again, if you go to Instagram.com/protovoid, there's a 0 instead of an O in the void. And you go to this link tree. You have all of this fun stuff. You have the library, the YouTube, which both of these have the same videos on it. Some people just prefer library. And then the OSINT tools, as well as the website. The website does not have any links to videos just yet, but it does have some good links and other good information. So I think that's it for today. I appreciate you guys if you stuck around and watched this whole thing. Like I said, please give me a follow on here, and just let me know what you thought of this whole video and if any of this was useful. Appreciate it, and have a great rest of the day.
Because the road to hell is paved with good intentions.